Today we're going to check out a very unique experience from OnePlus. No, I'm not talking about a smartphone or a tablet or earbuds or even a watch. I'm actually talking about a keyboard, specifically a collaboration between them and Keychron for this OnePlus Keyboard 81 Pro. There's two different versions of it. We're going to talk about it, but the main thing about this is that this is absolutely a piece of art. Not only does it look great, but it is also super quiet. The keys on this are absolutely great, and not only that, we have Bluetooth functionality, direct connection functionality, PC, Mac, Linux compatibility, even more. This is TK. Let's check out the brand new keyboard from OnePlus. This is the 81 Pro. Like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified to whenever we have new videos on the channel. I know that this is a very unique product, but I got a chance to see this, actually even hear about it back at the launch of the OnePlus 11. But not only that, we also got a chance to see it in person, although not get a chance to touch it at MWC 2023. But it is finally actually here in, I'm not going to, the proverbial flesh. This is basically for all intents and purposes, a CNC aluminum body of a keyboard. It is a Keychron keyboard made specifically in collaboration with OnePlus. And the type of collaboration that we're looking at here is essentially designed directly into not only the keys, but also the keycaps that we have in here. There's two different versions of them, and the one I have right now is going to be super quiet. It has basically some really nice, very nice, let's go ahead and you could barely even hear it right there. It's there and you can definitely hear it. Obviously it does make noise, but the main thing that you definitely appreciate here is it is backlit RGB. You can definitely see the colors over there. It's in Bluetooth mode right now. We have a couple of options in here in the back. We can use it either direct connection, USB-C, and they do provide us a USB-C cable, C2C or C2C with an adapter to USB-A. There is a Mac window configuration out of the box. You don't even have to do anything in there, so it's pretty simple. You just turn on Windows or Mac. If you're going to use it on Windows, switch it over, and you do need to switch a few keys on there. On the back, there's basically three different modes. There is the red, the blue, and basically the matrix. You get basically three configurations. You either go Bluetooth, which is the blue, so that's basically if you switch it over here, blue for Bluetooth, and then float all the way to the left is basically wired over USB-C. So you have to have this and that connected for us to be able to get it working. Of course, switching over to Windows Mac, make sure it works right. We do have an offset or a kickstand here to be able to configure it. So let's go ahead and put it up. So you can basically set it up to the level that you want. There are 4 offsets on the back, 1, 2, and then of course 3, 4. Never settle on the back. This is again, of course, OnePlus's moniker present. Very nice etched. This is very nice and reflective. It's not a sticker. And there are screws in here in case you definitely want to open it up. They do include a screwdriver in the packaging itself, as well as, of course, keycaps replacements. The keyboard right now is configured to run on my Windows system, although I'm going to be switching it over to my Mac as I like to use that outdoors. It does work again wired or wireless. The command and of course the Alt button are configurable. You can remove them and of course replace them with your Mac keyboards, and you can configure every single key on this keyboard with the software that's available directly, either online or available directly from Keychron's website. Very simple, very easy to configure and set up. What I love about it is, of course, is that little dial that we have right now. Out of the box, by default, it's configured to be volume up, volume down, and mute and unmute. So this is very simple. Home button works also if you're connecting it to a tablet. You have obviously opening up the apps, studio, of course, brightness display, brightness of the keycaps, play, pause, skip forward, volume up, volume down, all the shortcuts. We have a delete button that's right there with that box with the X, and of course, that beautiful OnePlus key at the top left. They include the tools to be able to remove the keys and of course replace them. And this is where it becomes very unique. It is actually a dampened experience, which makes them very nice. As far as everything else in the box, again, here's the adapter that I talked to you guys, the USB-C to C cable, very nice. And of course we have the screwdriver in the box as well to be able to adjust those. Additional damping material in there in case you do need them over time. And of course the keycap remover. We have the 2 pieces in here, and of course just the clamp to be able to basically grab it and then remove it, depending on what you're removing. If you're just removing the cover or actually just removing one key, you position it right over the key, and then of course you remove it, and it's pretty straightforward. You just basically take it out and then put in the key correctly. If you're going to switch it over to Windows, I mean, unless you don't care about what the icon is on the actual keyboard, let's go ahead and let it focus right there. You can pretty much leave them on. You'll notice here that there are blue switches in here. That's going to be the key caps or the keys that are actually in there. Once you have it in there, very nice, very soft material. But there's 2 different versions of this keyboard. There's the Winter Bonfire, and then there's the Summer Breeze. The one we have here is the Summer Breeze. The big biggest difference between the two is the color configuration. If it's slider on the inside, that's easy giveaway that this is the Summer Breeze. If it's the other one, it's typically the color gray here. The darker gray will be on the inside as opposed to the other. The coloring in the background, as far as the the RGBs, all of those things are going to be very nice and configurable. The biggest difference between the two is we're talking about a difference between tactile switches and linear switches, and both of them have basically dampeners. That's what we looked at, those little cushy things that we got at the beginning. The main thing I'll probably say is overall, this is going to sound a lot quieter than what you're normally listening or a mechanical keyboard to sound like, and that's because of the linear switches with the dampeners that we have in here. It's almost super quiet unless you're very aggressively typing on it, but it's, again, the personal preference here. You can go with one or the other depending on what you like. The PBT keycaps that we have on the Winter Bonfire are also much more firmer. Here we're looking at the Marble Mellow ones, and those are the first on a mechanical keyboard, even from Keychron, and that's part of the collaboration that we have here with OnePlus. As far as software configuration, you can jump on Keychron's website and just use the VIA online tool connected through the browser, and you're able to configure it. As I'm showing you guys a quick clip right now for my desktop on my Windows side, you're able to set up profiles, set up shortcuts, macros, a whole bunch of different things, remapping different buttons, different configurations, even providing the jog dial that we have here on the right, a different total functionality than just volume up, volume down, and of course the click functionality. Very nice, very, very good. I have been waiting to check out this keyboard since the announcement back around the OnePlus 11 launch, and even in MWC. Again, we got a chance to see it. I even did some content about this online. The biggest thing about it is overall is it's a solidly built piece of keyboard. It is definitely a solid piece. It has some weight into it. Again, we're not going to go with a CNC aluminum without having some heft into it. It's very nicely built. The dampening in there is super, super nice. The keys are very responsive, very customizable. You're able to configure it on the back to have it basically through riser, set it up and overall. But what I really like about it is also the fact that they set this up so that you're able to actually stand it up. It actually becomes almost like a stand when you want to put the keyboard away. So you don't actually have to basically just tilt it away or keep it facing down. So it becomes a little bit easier for space management. Keyboard, using it over Bluetooth works really, really nice. You can connect up to 3 different devices. The only thing you need to do is once you set it up, you need to hit the function and 1, 2, 3 or one of those. Wait about 4 seconds till the LED right under the number flashes so that you're able to pair it directly into the system. Once you have that connected, it works just like a regular keyboard. I've been playing Call of Duty with this wired. I typically like to do wired connection when we're playing games, especially for that latency. But as far as using it just for typing and so on, it works really nice. It'll pair with almost anything that accepts a Bluetooth keyboard connection. So let's say you're, I would say like your Google TV, your TV, if you have any kind of Google TV built into it that supports Bluetooth, this is going to work really good. It works great with my PC. It also works and it looks almost like it fits with my Mac even more. And I was testing it out basically connected wired and wireless. I even tested out using obviously the OnePlus Pad, because why not try it with a OnePlus Pad since this is a OnePlus keyboard. As you can imagine, it works really nice. I can use it wired or wireless. I feel like for those type of solutions, wireless is going to be the best experience. I'm not playing games. I'm using it to type in or bring in input into there. Of course, pair that with a wireless mouse, you're pretty much set and you're ready to go. The biggest thing I'll probably say is that out of the box, I was impressed with how well the build is, but also how quiet it is. That's something that I wasn't expecting. I'm expecting a mechanical keyboard to sound like a mechanical keyboard. Big, loud, clicky noises, and I'm used to that. To a certain point, I kind of missed that. But I think this is where you're able to pick one or the other from the configurations that they have on their website. This is definitely going to sound and work really nice in an environment where there's a lot more people there, but it's also really nice that it's flexible, that it'll work in any way you want. Customizations are very nice, very simple. The software works really easy. You can save profiles, load them, and then of course configure them to the way you want. There's multiple layers that you can go in there and even do software and firmware updates if you need to do it that way. At the end of the day, I think this is a great offering from OnePlus. It's really well priced for the material and the premium experience that comes with this. And I feel like having this as a keyboard will always remind you of that OnePlus moniker, and you're always able to kind of make sure that it's always on your mind. At the end of the day, I love the fact that I'm able to configure that little jog dial, because I also like to configure it directly into my DaVinci time flow, and I use it to basically move right and left in my timeline, because that works a little bit better for me, because we also still have a volume up, volume down that's sitting to the left of that. So this kind of works double duty. The home button works really good. Again, either if you're using it on Android, Windows, Mac, or even Linux. Keep in mind, it's not rated for Android, but it works on an Android tablet just like any other keyboard. It's a Bluetooth keyboard at its core. So At the end of the day, I want to say thank you very much to OnePlus for allowing me to check out the 81 Pro, but I also hope that you guys can definitely check that out and let me know what you guys think of a keyboard made by OnePlus. Is that something that makes sense to you? And if you're a fan of Keychron, you're definitely going to love this collaboration with OnePlus. Like and subscribe as usual. Thank you very much for the support. I'll see you in the next video.